Custis Secondary School School Council. Welcome, parents, to the Bernie Custis Secondary School School Council. As always, we acknowledge our presence on ancestral territories of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee Confederacy land as determined by the District One Spring Treaty. The school council meeting, which took place on April 12th, covered the following items. The principal's report, what the following items entailed, and some Q&A. The Bernie Custis School Annual Plan is reflectant of the HWDSB new approach and reimagined approach to board annual plans. Within this new annual plan, the shift has moved from a quantitative metric and quantitative targets to more qualitative. The HWDSB plan has the three important points: to improve the well-being of students and staff and close the gap for those currently and historically underserved, to improve the graduated outcomes for all students and close the gap for those currently and historically underserved, as well as improve the reading achievement of all students and close the gap for those currently and historically underserved. At Bernie Custis, we too are making the shift towards this focus of closing the gap for those students who have been historically and currently underserved, as well as focusing on their well-being and as their graduation outcomes. During this process of shifting, we have not only worked together as staff, we've also collaborated with our students in capturing student voice within the various boxes of the school annual plan. Within the school annual plan, the core is equity-based, focusing on eliminating barriers of our underserved students. Afterwards, we focus on where we are now, making assessment of our students' needs, where we wish to be, how will we get there, and how we know we're on track. At Bernie Custis, we are presently focusing on 4 key points of how we wish to get to the targets of ensuring that our students are feeling safe and are connected to a caring adult, and that 70% of our students are on track to graduating this year. The 4 bullet points under how we will get there focuses on targeting our students and building their learning skills and work habits, ensuring that our students feel seen and heard and are known, ensuring that in our instruction there are multiple opportunities for our students to demonstrate their learning, and that we provide our students with multiple opportunities to demonstrate what they know. In our focus as a school at Bernie Custis, we are focusing on a learning habits and work skills project in which our learning team is leading our staff and better equipping our students to be able to manage their self-regulation, their initiative, their organization. As well as a focus on equity, we have a learning team who has presented the highlight of their work at HWDSB. In our focus as a school at Bernie Custis, Bernie Custis Equity Team is comprised of 12 staff members, teachers, and EAs who meet regularly. They learn and share their problems of practice, and most recently are creating action plans in response to our Junior Student Voice Collective and the feedback that we have received from our students. And Rebuild, which it is using to support the learning of our staff. They are also focusing on creating and supporting culturally responsive classroom practices for all staff, and they share their learnings at staff meetings and PD days. In response to our Junior Voice Collective and Student Success surveys, they are looking to respond to our students' voice of making their cultures and identities seen. And right now they're focusing on supplementing the Multicultural Day as requested by our students. At Bernie Custis, we are committed to creating learning environments and conditions so that all students can learn. One of the ways in which all staff and students are focused on is the area of de-streaming. Presently this year, our math courses, grade 9s, are de-stream classes. And from that, the teachers in the grade 9 math courses are supporting the learning of our teachers in English, science, French, and geography. For September of 2022-23 year, those departments will also be offering either single stream or de-streamed courses. Please watch the video on the history of de-streaming. As Bernie Custis staff, we are reminded by Maya Angelou that we need to do the best we can until we know better. But when we do know better, we are responsible to do better. In our learning of CRP through the leadership of our equity team, building the capacity of our students through our learning skills and work habit learning team, as well as our de-streaming team of staff who are committed to building the capacity and knowledge base of our incoming grade 9 students, we're all committing to doing better in a posture of practice. We understand the dimensions of culturally relevant in pedagogy acknowledges that institutions such as education is not neutral. We understand that the history of education has been biased to specific students and that other students, because of their identities of race, language, religion, genders, sexual orientation, has been placed on the margins. And so we are working hard to rectify that harm. We understand as we look at the institution at large, we need to ask questions as to who is successful and how we measure our success. We are reminded as individual educators, we need to continually reflect on our mindset, our biases, our worldview, and why it matters in the classroom. And as we look at our approaches as educators, we need to question our instructional and assessment approaches, why we do what we do, and what metrics we use to determine success in our classrooms. Bernie Custis, along with our feeder school, Prince of Wales, have been chosen to partake in the ministry's Keeping Student in Schools Ministry Pilot Project, KSIS. In this project, we are looking to find ways in which our institutional practices have been addressing the overrepresentation of specific students, particularly students who are Indigenous, Black, students with individual educational plans, and how we can remedy our practices to make sure that our responses in the areas of progressive discipline are not biased. We have an inquiry question which guides our work as to what happens to school experiences amongst students who are currently disproportionately encountering with school disciplinary practices. And as a team at Bernie Custis, we are addressing our practices and our responses to our students and in the ways that our instruction can better support them. We will be sharing more information in the days and the months to come. Our urban priority funding will be assessed at our urban priority steering committees, which will take place later in the month of April, during which time we will look at our present schools action plans and its impact on student achievement, learning, and sense of positive, safe climate. More information will be shared. Due to the lessening of the COVID restrictions in the HWDSB, we're very happy to share that the class of 2022 will be celebrated in wonderful ways. The HWDSB is making a shift from the traditional graduation ceremonies in which it only recognizes students who have obtained their Ontario secondary school diplomas to the commencement model, which celebrates all students who are on their pathways to graduation for the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, the Ontario Secondary School Certificate, the Ontario Certificate of Achievement, which can be obtained in many ways. This June, we will be celebrating our students at a prom, the traditional prom, which will be held at the Hamilton Convention Center on 2nd of June. Students and their families will receive more information through Parent Portal and will be able to make purchase of the prom tickets through Cash Online. Prior to the prom, we will be celebrating our grads at a grad breakfast. More information will be shared. The commencement ceremony, which will take place on June 29th from 4 to 6, will also take place at the Hamilton Convention Center. If parents and or guardians or caregivers have not received the information regarding the grad package of $40, which includes the student's cap, gown, tassel, needs to contact the school as soon as possible. This grad package is only paid for the student who's participating in the commencement event, there is no fee for parents and/or guardians or loved ones to participate. Thank you for the work that you do on behalf of your students, and we look forward to working with you all. Thank you to all parents, guardians, and caregivers of students at Bernie Custis. We thank you for the work that you do on behalf of your students, and we look forward to working with you all.